Good evening, all. Thank you for joining today's well-being session. You just got more time, an Emerge program organized by TiE Singapore. Let me introduce our speaker, Subba Vaidyanathan, a mind athlete and corporate leader who left his leadership role in the corporate world to train people to be their best under pressure. Let us hear from Subba how we can target our resources, time, and energy effectively. Over to you, Subba.
Hey, thank you, Sudha. Welcome, everybody. Lovely to be with all of you. Before I start today, I want to ask you this question. How many of you felt that this week was a high pressure week? I've been having a really high pressure week. And I today is my most intense day. My day started around 7 a.m. That was my first session, and it will finish perhaps around 10:30 p.m. So it's my most intense day. You are my fourth session of today, and I have another three more to go after this. Uh, I, I'm sure that all of you feel that with so much going on in your life and your work, I just talk about work. Do you focus on funding? Do you focus on strategy? Do you focus on BD, business development? Do you focus on developing your brand or building your brand? Do you focus on your people? Do you focus on your customers or clients? Do you focus on your product, revenues? Just the list goes on. There is so much going on in your life, not to mention all of this is just work. And of course, so many things going on in life, especially now that people can't travel. There's a lot of anxiety about health still going on, about how we will get out of this lockdown. So plenty of stuff going on. How do we manage this resource called time, which is appears to be really a fixed resource? So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, and how I use a variety of tools to make time expand. Truly, there are days when I'm sure you also thought, why don't I be on a different planet where there's more than 24 hours? I just want to show you that it's possible to expand time. So we believe that there are two key resources available with us. One of them is time, and the other is money. And we think that time, of course, is limited. It's like 24 hours in a day. The only way we can make more time is to sleep less, right? And money, it's very interesting to think about money, because in a way, money can buy you time. So talk about that a little bit more. Time, when I talk about time, is not just your time. It's also the time as a resource which is available in your organization. Everybody who's working in your teams has X amount of time. So you have that whole pot of time as your resource. And the same thing holds good for money, your personal resource and your organization, what money is there in your organization. Money can buy you time because you can either hire more people, so therefore you make more time for yourself and for your company because there's more time available then. Or you can buy devices which make it more convenient for you to work and therefore buys you time. So in a way, both of these are linked. Okay, that's one way to add more time is by spending your money to create more time. But today, that's not what I'm going to speak to you about. I'm going to speak to you about attention, about focus. That is my magic tool to expand time. And I'm going to give you a 3-step framework which you can use. I love three steps, okay? Which you can use to expand them. So that's what we are going to talk about today. It's a short and sharp presentation, and then you'll have some opportunity to ask me some questions, being the last session in this series. So, what is focus? How do you create focus? We all think focus is something which everybody speaks about, but it's very difficult to achieve because there's so much hitting us, right? So let's talk about focus on what matters. And the other thing metric I have is who matters. So there are, one is about what, about things, and the other is about people. I'm sure all of you in your businesses have heard this trend that you solve for a single metric. What is that single metric which is most important for your business? Is it customer numbers? Is it active customers? Is it engaged customers? Is it revenues? Whatever it may be, do you know what that metric is? This is what is often asked these days, right? But I talk about that you need to have a single metric for work, a single metric for life, and a single metric for yourself. So you need to know what is that metric you want to focus on. For me, I'll share this with you. With respect to myself, my single metric is my energy. Every single day, I try to manage my physical, mental, and emotional energy. So I have a way to manage it in the morning, I have a different way to manage it midday, and I have a different way to manage it at night. So this is my most important thing because by solving for energy, I solve for stress, I solve for my personal performance, I solve for my ability to focus mentally, everything that's going on, and also physically. So for me, energy is my single metric for myself. When it comes to life, my single metric, very simple, is the number of kilometers I walk with my wife. Simple. Every single day, how many kilometers do I walk with my wife? I have a particular metric that I have to meet. There's a hurdle. And that's what I solve because through that, we're able to have a conversation, we're able to exercise, we're able to be with each other. And it helps overall, not just myself, my energy, but also helps my relationship. That's about my life. When it comes to work, my single metric is the number of people I am with every week. And I have a metric for how many, what's that hurdle that I need to meet. But the number of people I am with every week. So far, today, I would have been with around 50 people. By the time I finish today, maybe I would have met 100 people. So that's a big tick for me for this week because that gets me over the hurdle in this week very easily. So that's my metric for the week. So that's what matters to me. It helps me focus exactly on what I need to do. Question is, what is your metric for work? What is your metric for life? And what is your metric for yourself? The next most important is who matters. And this is something very important. I tell you how it's a simple question, but people ask, but how do I figure out who matters to me? You can think of any sport, soccer, football, basketball, cricket, whatever you want, right? You're playing on the ground with your team, and there are fans and spectators watching you play. The people playing with you, they are the ones who matter most. They're playing the game at work or in life. They are the ones who need your time. The fans and the spectators are not the people who you should be investing your time with. So the question is, do you know who is your team? And do you know who are spectators in your life or work? And that is the basis on which you decide who matters most to you. Focus on what matters, focus on who matters. Have that single metric, know your team, and know who's not in your team. They're outside, they're still kind of cheering for you, but they're not part of your team, right? Now, how do you expand time? Having known that, how do you really expand time? Three things. First, is your calendar aligned with what matters and who matters? Go back and take a look. I know it will not be 100% aligned. Is it at least 70% aligned to what matters and who matters? If I say that I need to take care of my energy, I need to walk with my wife, and that I need to make sure I'm in front of people, what percentage of my calendar is allotted to that? Is that aligned with what are the metrics I'm trying to solve for? Next, I have something called as a today list, not a to-do list, but a today list. When I don't know any of you have been to Bali, but when you go on this early morning volcano climb, it's about 3 o'clock, maybe around 3:30 when you're climbing because you want to be up by sunrise. It's pitch dark. You can't see a thing. All you can see is the next 1, 2, or 3 steps. Today list. That's all you need to see. And it's so important to have the today list because at the end of the day, when you get through that list, when you get through even most of that list, you're going to feel super good about yourself. So you need a today list, not also to get overwhelmed in your mind. Write it. Know what success is for today. You might have heard about a chemical, two chemicals, in fact. One is called endorphins, the other is called serotonin. If you need to have a high level of serotonin, a high level of endorphins, and perhaps a high level of dopamine, and so that you're able to feel good about everything that happened, and so you're able to feel confident in yourself, you need to have, by the end of the day, to know whether it was a successful day or not, or at least what part of the day was successful. That's why if a calendar is focused on what matters and who matters, if you have a today list and you know what success means for today, when you look at it in the morning and you say, if I get through these 3 things, it's great for me today. At the end of the day, you're going to feel really good. And it's so important for you to feel good by the end of the day because only then you will be able to hold the energy for tomorrow. Otherwise, you're going to go to bed stressed. So expanding time is focus, 3 metrics, one for work, one for life, and one for yourself. Know who matters, who is team. Then make sure that your calendar is focused. At least 60-70% is aligned to what and who matters. You have a to-do list, and then you know what every morning you wake up, look at that to-do list, and then know what success is for today. It may seem extremely simple. Just try to do this. At least you'll be able to get through of the 6 things that I mentioned, the 3 and 3. I'm sure even if you got through 50% of it, you're going to feel that time just expand. I get so much time every day just because of this way of looking at every single day, this way of looking at every single week. you can do it too. Why should you do this? I spoke to you about this, right? Focusing your resources, not just personal resources, but also organizational resources. Remember, time is not just your time, but your organization has time. We call it man days or whatever, right? People days. How do you focus all your resources? So you need that metric to focus your resources, to make those decisions with respect to work, to expand that time and for it to mean a lot with respect to your work, perhaps even with respect to your life, because then everybody knows what's your metric and they also solve for them. So focusing your resources is very important, as much as fighting the right battles. We want to win every single battle because we still live in a world of FOMO. We're just fearful of missing out just because somebody else does something, whether it's in a personal life or at work because competitor is doing something, we want to chase that. But if you're focused on that metric, if you keep that focus, your energies will also be focused on fighting the right battles and letting go of the rest. This means hugely in terms of your ability to scale your business and also to get returns for your business. It means something for your daily chemistry. I mentioned to you your dopamine, your endorphin, and your serotonin. And all of this contributes to how your energy is and how you're able to perform every single day. So there you are with a way to expand time, to make more time, to make time almost infinite. If you just did this, I guarantee you that you will find that time has tremendously expanded. One of the programs I was running in Indonesia, at the end of the day, someone stood up and said, I now understand that my biggest problem that I have to solve is how to say no. Because I keep saying yes to everybody in my life, whether it's my boss, whether it's my investor, whether it is my customer, or whether it's people in my life, my friends. And as a result of all this, I'm like super stressed. So the question is, do you know what you will keep out of your life as much as what you want to keep in focus? You should know what is out of focus and let that pass. I wanted to just remind all of you that these are the 4 sessions we've done. Hack your stress, train like an athlete, stay connected while distanced, and time unlimited, which is what we did today. In Hack Your Stress, we had a color code way of looking at stress. In Train Like an Athlete, we spoke about the 4 pillars to raise your energy. And in Connected While Distance, we spoke about stories that connect us in these times when we are physically distanced. And Time Unlimited today, we spoke about how focus can expand time and resources. So thank you all for being with me through this journey. Happy to take some questions now. But before that, I just wanted to say that every Sunday night, I run a session, Calm and Chaos, a place to be mindful and to find your calm in the chaos of the week, to prepare yourself for the week ahead. It's at 9 p.m. on Sunday night. So mostly you will be awake and you'll be free. You can use the QR code or the link to register. It is free. Okay, so you can do that. But if you find that hard, you can follow me on my Instagram, which is Being with Subba, and you'll also find me on LinkedIn as Being with Subba. I'm going to stop my share and focus on your questions now. Chat, Q&A. Typically, is a customer in a customer-facing role, I get called upon at short notice. How can I realign the priorities of the day and still achieve most of my to-do list? Okay. I know that there are certain days when if your client calls, you are going to go out of control and you will have to attend to the client's demands, right? But if you have your to-do list, you know, some are short activities some are long activities. Okay, the way I manage it is this: I do get interrupted too. I get interrupted by calls of people who are under stress and they want to call me. I cannot reject that call. They are my customer, just like yours. But the list helps anchor me because even when I get 10, 15-minute slots, breaks, I'm able to complete something from that list. So by the end of the day, even if I did three small things and I took the customer calls, I still feel I have made progress on that list. That's how I'm able to find my dopamine for the day. I hope that helped. I'm talking of an extremely bad day, right? Where you have no choice but to attend to the customer. Anything else? Any other questions? Sudha?
Folks, any other questions? I think that's it. Thank you, Subha. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Please do provide your feedback on the poll launched before you exit the session. Thank you all once again. Thank
Thank
you.
you all. Lovely to be with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Subha, we have one more question, if you're still there.
Yes, Sudha, go ahead.
How to challenge your day and achieve success?
Sorry?
How to challenge your day and achieve success?
Very good. So, how do you challenge your day, Kiran? Is I have in today's list. I normally the way I make my today's list is I have something which is challenging in today's list. I needed to get two important proposals out, and there were tough things to get through with. I also had a board meeting to attend, so I made sure that the tough thing gets done in the morning. So every day I have something challenging which I put on my to-do list because by getting through that, I feel really good. Today is the most extreme day where I not only have challenging things, but I have a lot of things to do. But always make sure that there is one tough thing that you want to get through for the day. One, let's call it a core workout that you need to get through for the day. One solid piece of effort that you want to get through for the day. So when you do that, you will feel good. It has to be aligned with your metric too.
Thank you, Subha. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kiran. Thank you, Sudha. Thank you.